are you know, basically like recovering, getting your strength back, but like being on this boat and like having to take shifts, and it's all pretty hard work. Actually, it's harder work than I think you guys anticipated. Like just simply staying awake or trying to find things to do. It's not very relaxing. It's not a pleasure cruise.
Zian offers to teach people meditation.
Yeah, does anyone take Zian up on his offer?
Jax manages to politely decline without laughing in Zian's face.
Okay, good.
Dash is
You laugh, but I can lift you.
Dash is kind of interested.
I didn't laugh. I succeeded in not laughing.
So yeah, maybe you realize Dash is like feeling a bit ill still from like the boat, and you're like, meditation can help with this, right? And maybe that's the initial reason why you're interested. Dash is like, you're like, oh, it can help me not be sick anymore.
Yeah.
So what does that look like, Zian? Like, what does that process look like?
Well, first is find a spot that is probably like the least movement intensive, somewhere that you're not going to be swaying quite as much. So something towards the center, everything like that. Find like a peaceful place where there's not going to be interruptions by other people, and we get the whole stereotypical lotus position and just kind of empty your mind and focus on blah blah blah. It's all very mystical.
So why don't you make me a leadership check to see what your instructional skills, how well your instructional skills work here. Now
that sounds good.
I'm gonna ask Dash. You're former military. You're pretty used to like listening to directions and stuff. So I don't think it's particularly hard for you to kind of follow directions. But I guess the question is for you, how like invested are you in actually learning this, or are you just trying to like, okay, are you super logical about like, okay, what's the next step, okay, what do I need to do, or is it like you actually going to like kind of give in to like the meditative quality of what's going on, or are you just trying to solve a problem, which is you're getting sick?
Well, the thing is, it's like at first he kind of like he's trying to like he's trying to get a right. What I'm trying to say is he's trying to pass his sickness, but halfway through he feels that he starts to like give into this sort of like peace, kind of like meditation thing.
Sure. So that sounds average to me. I'm also adding a black dice just because like you're a bit distracted by the movement of the ship.
Because I have a thing for that.
Oh, hey, what is the thing you have for that?
It's like, what is it? Kill with kindness. Remove black for kill with kindness from all leadership checks and charm checks.
Look at that. Cool. I'm also gonna do this.
Dun dun.
Because there is a chance for like significantly bad stuff to happen, and it feels more dark side than just natural upgrade. So I am ready whenever you are.
All right. Let's give this a shot.
Cyan, you screw me up.
Well, it's not that Zian screwed up, and it's not that you're not picking up like the information here. What it is, and it's 3 failures, so that's pretty significant. I think what it is here is that
instantly becomes one with the dark side.
Well,
full blown Sith. Lightning job, Zian.
Zian, I think that you realize you're teaching him the way that Master Zen taught you.
Yeah.
And it's just not like that's not how Dash learns things. Yeah. Right? Like Dash is like a completely different person from the way that you were in a lot of ways, right? And so like you're like, no, you just do this, and Dash is like, I'm doing that, right? And there's probably this little bit of tension that arrives there between the two of you. But it's certainly not easy. Now, this isn't all on you, right? You have not succeeded in your like proper leadership of what's happening here. So there is some of this on Dash. So Dash, I would like you to make me a discipline check. And since you have 3 failures there, I'm going to make it a hard check with an upgrade.
Okay.
That's a significant amount of failures. And I need you to roll discipline to see if, even with this kind of, it's not that it's poor teaching, it's just that it's not the right type of teaching for you. Let's see if you can overcome that with your discipline.
May the force guide me.
Yeah, you can use a force point. It's totally fine. I'm going to use one too, though.
Oh, fuck you! Well, I'm ready.
Yeah, see it.
Mm.
Oof, close. Close though. So you gain some strain from like the kind of exuberance that you're having here, and you don't succeed. So you don't like overcome that sickness that you were intending, and you feel that there's something nagging at you about this, like something that kind of like calls to you. And I think that what you do get out of this whole process, even though it was hard and it probably wasn't the right place, like it's probably not quiet. It's not very still, no matter where you are on the boat, right? Like it's just not a great, like, probably even Zian, you're having trouble like meditating yourself in this place, right? And like trying to expect someone who's never done anything like this to do it, you realize perhaps that like we'll try when we're back and like on the ship, like we can try later, right? But Dash, there is something nagging there at you that like, maybe this is something I should pursue at the very least, even though it's a bit stressful for you. So
it's like as they're kind of like Dash kind of like says like, Zan, I guess it's not gonna work on this ship, as he has a kind of like a scrunch and kind of like the fuzzled face that is reflecting from never being on a ship and not liking being on the ship. Kind of like he's trying to not be mad at him because, well, for one, he's not really a very balanced person, but also he's also unbalanced, so it's kind of like there's very many negatives, but he doesn't want to say like you're just I just don't understand you. It's just like you don't get me, but it's just like he's trying to not say that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And Zia's like, yeah, sorry it didn't work out. If you want to try again when we're in a better spot, like when we're on land or on the close call or whatever, feel free to come get me.
Yeah, and as he's kind of like in that monk position, he kind of like nods his head and just like gets on his feet, kind of does his simple off, and he says, "I'm gonna go and lie down. I think that's the best place for me." As he like nods to Zian and goes back to the like crew like place, whatever you said it was. I have a bad memory.
Yeah, absolutely.
Quarters. Crew quarters.
So, we that was awesome. Another scene that we see, though, I think, perhaps importantly, is Jackson, Kin. You guys are on lookout at this point, right? Like he's probably like a shift where the two of you are on lookout. It's probably like at night as well, like over the course of a night.
I think Mouse would be there as well because we said always have 3
totally
people
cool.
up there.
Yep, totally cool. And I think like the kind of loud snoring from the captain, like because he sleeps in the bridge, but like the 3 of you are also in there. So he's like snoring loudly, and the ship's on autopilot as it's kind of just like lightly bouncing along to where it's supposed to be going. Is there any conversation that's had there, or is it simply just kind of a silent, we're on lookout, etc., etc.?
What time of day is it?
It's nighttime. It's over the course of a night. And remember, there's like almost zero light pollution. So it's probably actually pretty bright from all of the stars. And there's 2 moons that orbit here, so they're probably reflecting a bit of light as well.
So Jax will have his goggles like on his forehead rather than Jax has these like night vision-y goggle type things.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so
he'll have
does
them on
Mouse
his
actually.
forehead. Cool. So we'll have them on his forehead, and I think there would be idle chat, but nothing too serious.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we'll passively play a game or something with dice or cards. Thing, just not actively, just just as a side thing.
I can imagine Mouse Thumb being like, "I spy with my little eye," and we're like the ocean. She's like, "Oh."
Yeah, perfect. And that probably happens like 3 or 4 times throughout the course of the night, right?
Yeah. Like Jax would not have a serious conversation without it being prompted by someone else at this point.
Sure. I think that it's probably about time to make you all roll a perception check. And I'm not going to tell you the difficulty. I'm just going to let you see it when you roll it. So I'll let you know when I'm ready. But there are quite a few things here that are going to occur and affect this particular roll. So you're all just kind of hang out around, and it is dark out, but it's not quite that dark out. So I'm only going to add 1 black dice to that. I'm adding a second black dice because of the general vantage point that you have over viewing everything. You're kind of low to the deck, so there's that. So if anyone has anything that removes black dice from perception checks, let me know.
So I think the goggles. So the way I imagine it is Jax would be like have them on his forehead, generally looking at, but occasionally he'd like drop them and give like a more careful scan.
It's totally okay with me.
So I think that could remove the black check from the nighttime.
I agree.
But nothing. I don't think I have anything for the other one.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything.
Cool. So, Jax, why don't you go ahead and roll first? I'm also going to roll for Mouse, and she also has goggles. And then we'll have Ken roll it separately.
All right, cool. Give me 1 second. Yes. And now let's roll perception.
Okay.
The second time today, I triumphantly fail at doing what I'm trying to do.
Ken, why don't you go ahead and roll for me? I just added the extra black dice. So, I want all of that to go to. Actually, no, I don't. Everybody takes 2 strain.
Well, you have to do Mouse's. Oh.
Yeah, I can do Mouse's. Yeah, for sure. Don't worry about that. So everybody takes 2 strain.
I didn't see Mouse's roll.
Yeah, she also failed. And Jax, so you get a triumph here. And
thanks this one as well. No, I'm just joking.
No, I think there is. I think there are some good things here. I think that your triumph is going to be understanding that something is wrong. For like with this situation I'm about to present to you, you are going to know that something is wrong, and you're going to have a chance to kind of like act on whatever fear based on my description.
All right, so basically my spidey sense is tingling.
Yeah, exactly. This is spidey sense in this case. Cool. You for one are not going to be caught unawares by whatever is about to happen. So the first thing that occurs that kind of all of you notice is a loud as the hull of the boat kind of, you hear it like and like all of you get kind of rocked for a moment, and you're not really sure what happened. And Mouse probably like gets up and like looks around at like the console, and she says, "We're losing speed. Something happened." And your triumph in this moment, Jax, is going to be that you felt the thunk occurred on the right-hand skiff.
Cool. We probably should have said this, but can we kind of retroactively assume that we create some kind of code phrase or something where if something went on,
there's an intercom system in the boat that you could use.
Yeah, but that we have like we said like Mayday or something, and everyone knows. Okay, it's time to like get up on deck. And
Sure.
All right. So first things, we'll do that, and then I'll say, I felt something on the right hand side of the ship.
Yeah.
And Jax would probably say, I'm gonna go investigate, and he'd have the harness and he'd clip in and start and leave the bridge to try and see what's going on.
Sure. So
with his goggles on at this point.
Yeah, so you turn on like the intercom and it's like womp womp womp, right? And like for Dash and Zian, you guys are like asleep, right, below decks, and you hear like the alarm go off, and like there's probably a red flashing light because there's always a red flashing light. And you kind of like look around, you're not really sure what's going on. So just be prepared to act, I guess. Or maybe you don't wake up. That's up to you.
I'll be up for sure.
I'll wake up as well.
I feel like Zian doesn't so much sleep as it's more of like a deep meditative state. Like it's like the hibernation kind of thing, but not a full thing. Anyway, he'll pop out and head up to the main decks. See what's going on.
Yeah. So I think that the Captain Hargreaves is like, alright, what's going on? And Mouse is like, we're losing some speed. We think something hit the ship. And he's like, ugh, nonsense. We're so far out to sea. There's nothing to hit out here. Let me take a look. And he like gets up and he like begins looking over the console. So now Jackson, Kin, you guys are like clipped in, and you're like proceeding on like you are you actually like going to go out onto the skiff because the ship's slowing enough now that like it's
I want to start off by going to the edge and looking at the skiff to see if I can see what it is.
Yeah, so you can also tell that the ship is dragging. It's listed a little bit to the right, almost as if something is like hanging on to the skiff. So part of the skiff actually exists like underwater, right? Like there's a big like tube shape that's like under the water that kind of uses it to it's basically stabilization, right? But occasionally it kind of like rises up to the surface a little bit. I'm using your perception here because it wasn't great, but your triumph got you the location. I think that you can see that there is a silvery white shape that appears to be like attached to the skiff, to like that portion that's under the water, and kind of creating a bunch of drag. And you can tell, like, again, you're listing a little bit to the right, and you're actually like the ship is also pulling to the right as well. What do you do with that information? It's hard to tell because the speed that you're moving, all that stuff.
Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to Mouse and explain what I'm seeing and ask her if the captain would have an explanation of what that could be.
Yeah, and so I think the captain probably relays back to you. He goes, well, if you actually do see something, it's probably something that was floating in the water. I wouldn't suspect cargo, perhaps the carcass of a fish or something. Shouldn't be no problem. I'll bring the ship down and we'll be able to free it. And then be on our way.
And what's the weather like right now? Is it pretty bad?
It's a clear sky out. The ship doesn't. The movement of the ship is mostly because it's under power. Although now the captain is like physically like bringing the speed down because I don't know if you guys. This is a weird thing to experience, by the way, and I think I only know this because I grew up on boats. But if something's like actually attached to the boat, it is impossible to remove it while you're under power. Like you physically have to like depower and like clear it out and then go back under power. So that's basically what's happening.
Get, like masses of seaweed on the keel, and it's
exactly. It's impossible to remove while you're under power. So now the captain's like bringing the ship to a halt. So as it kind of like slows down, the boats are rocking pretty pleasantly, I would say. It's a clear night. Again, there's like a lot of like light reflected from the two different moons. There's a lot of stars, obviously. All in all, it's quite beautiful. It's probably actually a bit chilly, I would say. You're kind of in the northern hemisphere of the planet. it probably is, you know, around wintertime or so. But there's kind of like a chilly, stiff breeze that's kind of washing over you. And yeah, as the ship begins to slow down completely, Zian, when the alarm goes off, do you go to the bridge?
Yeah.
Did I break up? Hello?
Are you there?
Hello?
Jordan.
Hello? You know, I'm beginning to think Discord has a time limit for talking. No, I'm dead serious, because if I talk for an extended period of time of Discord, it's always about 3.5 hours of me basically straight talking because I like to talk. Usually when I run games, when Discord just cuts out on me for no reason. Or my equipment just is shit and they need to get it fixed. One of those two things are true. Anyway, so I was asking Zian and Dash where you guys would report to when the alarm goes off. Like, do you report to the bridge? Do you report to like the mess hall?
If any information was transmitted over the intercom, we'd head to wherever that was.
Yeah. If someone said bridge or anything.
Otherwise, I think, most threats are going to be external, so just head outside and try and see what's going on.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did anyone message like, "Hey, meet on the bridge"? Like, something?
No, it was just that's what I was saying. Like, it was just like a Mayday, all hands on station type thing.
Sure. So maybe Zian and Dash, maybe you do go up the hatch, like from the crew quarters to the deck, right? Mm-hmm. You grab your harnesses and you clip in, and by the time you get up there, you probably see Jax like out on the right hand skiff, like kind of like looking down. Kin, where are you at? Are you also the same, like out on that?
So wait, I wasn't on the skiff yet.
Oh,
because
sorry.
I was looking down at the skiff, and I had a plan about going to the skiff that involved Kin.
Okay, all right. So maybe we see that first.
Yeah.
I think we're waiting for the boat to slow down. And
then, so the boat is essentially like it's stopped now. I mean, you're not like dead in the water, right? But it's slowed down enough. The engines are like probably like shutting down just because you don't want them running constantly while you're trying to deal with this kind of stuff. So yeah.
So I'll turn to Kin and say, so here's a question for you. I have my grapple harpoon gun. Could I ask Kin to hold on to the grapple side and like reel it out as I'm going down, or do you think it's something I need to shoot?
No, I mean I'm sure you could like use it as a climbing gear basically. Man, it seems no problem.
So what I'm gonna say to Kin is like hold on to this, and help pull me up if plus I can activate the pulley part of it, but still. Right. Like I want to make sure it's attached to something solid, and Kin is solid as fuck. So like hold on to this, and
That's a compliment.
No problem.
And I'll climb down there. And I'll see if I can get a better look at what this thing is.
Sure, absolutely.
And I'll just say if I scream now, just pull me up.
Safe word is now.
Fine.
Cool, yeah. So maybe that's the point at which Dash and Zian, you guys make it to the upper deck, right? And you're like, you're following the clips along, and like you see Jax like climbing down the cut in ladder along the skiff to like get down to the bottom part. And you see, are you just like holding it, Kin, or do you like secure it around yourself? Like, how does that work?
I've wrapped it just once around the rails, and then around my hand, and also around the back of my body, just so I have a good grip.
Yeah, so there's like a 3-point contact, like once around the railing, once around your hand, and then once around your body, so you can like hold on.
Jax approves.
Cool.
Solid D.
Cool. Awesome. So as you guys approach, I assume Zian, you ask what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
What?
Appropriately timed laughter.
Sorry, my girlfriend just handed me what used to be a big bag of chips, and it's now a very empty bag of chips, and I gave her a look, and she just started cackling.
Fantastic. Yeah, so the other two of you approach Kin, who's like just like standing straight up, I assume, because Kin is always standing straight, and like holding this grappling hook that's wrapped around him and his arm and the railing. And you see Jax like descending down the skiff to see what the hell's going on.
So Kin will just say, something stuck to the skiff. We're gonna check it out.
It was like stuck where? Like under the water?
Possibly.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Zian, you can like gaze out and look down if you wanted to.
I will attempt to, but I probably won't be able to see much.
Yeah. It's gonna be the same check as before.
Alright.
Why don't you go ahead and roll perception? Dash, you can do this too, obviously.
There it is.
Holy shit. That's basically a double despair.
Good. Classic.
I kind of feel like Zian needs to fall overboard.
Oh no!
Okay. Well, Dash, you're actually okay because it's just failure for you. You just like you can't see anything. You just woke up. You're like rubbing your eyes. They haven't adjusted yet. Like you just can't see anything.
Oh,
However,
oh no.
Zian,
Yeah.
I think your perception check was so bad in this particular instance that the despair is going to be applied in the fact that you do see what's coming, but are absolutely 100% unable to stop it.
Okay.
Or say anything or warn anybody. In fact, I think your despair here is going to trigger the first fear check involved with this particular thing that is about to happen.
Okay.
And you're gonna have it's gonna be not just the normal fear check either for you because of your despair.
Yeah.
So it is normally a hard fear check. So I think that in this instance, it is going to be hard. And
okay, so discipline check.
Yeah. Let me see. I think that definitely the one upgrade here for the bear, and yeah, I think that's fine. I think this is a check, and this is like your despair is giving you an extra upgrade here, but it is going to make it harder. So if you want to roll a discipline check.
And you know we've got a lot of light side. I'll flip one of those.
Seems fine. Get an upgrade on your side. I've added it whenever you're ready.
Okay. Discipline. That's not a good check.
Perfect.
All right.
So I think this is a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like 10, but you are afraid of what is about to happen, and probably something to do with you get a flash of the old man captain saying, you know, beware at night because that's when they hunt, as he leaves out of the door, and you see Jax descending to try and figure out what this is, and too late you see the dark blur of an image that leaps out of the water directly at Jax.
Oh no! All right. So how much conflict you think?
I would say this is like this is a combination of you're too afraid to warn your friend that he's about to be eaten.
Okay.
I would say at least 5.
5?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 seems
5
seems reasonable. If you want to add more because of your personal thing, that's totally up with you. But this is you're too afraid.
There's probably going to be more that are going to be generated for this thing. So
sure. Let me. I mean, technically, you all have seen this picture before. Let me get this back. Oh, did I actually upload him yet? Okay, let me upload him. I did his token, but I didn't upload him. Okay. So, This is what you see leaping out of the water at you, Jax. And just so we can have, just so we can, no, yeah, exactly. That's actually true scale, by the way, in case anyone was curious.
Devourer of worlds.
Just so we can have a visual representation of what everybody looks like here.
But that's so big.
Oh, apparently easy. I feel like coming over on the first try.
Is Jeff gonna die? Does Milan have to roll a new character?
It's just so we can.
Incredibly difficult to kill a PC in this game.
It is incredibly difficult.
Yeah, but at the same time, if I get eaten and then just like I'm in its belly and at the bottom of the ocean, like I don't want to play that guy anymore.
Yeah.
Even if he's alive.
So I think that the you see this. Here, let me just put Jax right there real quick. So as this thing bursts from the water, everybody is reacting on your unexpected here, which means vigilance.
Yes, finally.
Which means with this particular creature, it is an ambush hunter. So you actually all get an additional black dice. Now, how that works when you roll it is I'm going to add everybody in manually. So I'm going to add a black dice to the dice pool, and then I want all of you to roll just the vigilance skill, not the actual initiative skill. And then I'm going to add everybody.
Alright. I'm going to flip a light side point for my roll. Because...
Can you flip light side points for your rolls?
I don't
initiative.
know if you can.
I'm not sure that you can.
Well, then let's just say I don't. Can you? Yeah.
I'll look it up while we're doing some rolls.
Yeah. I'm actually that's actually a rule I don't know. If you can.
I don't know either.
We'll look it up.
I'm also gonna suffer 2 strain.
Okay.
And
yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna suffer 2 strain to increase my thing by actually, you know what? I'm not, because I'm already at 5.
Let me see if this works this way.
So I'm really unsure.
You need to roll yours again using the skill, not the combat one, so you get the black dice.
Cool, me?
Yeah. Well, I'll just. How about this? That's actually totally fine. I just realized that the way this fucking turn order works, it's not going to work too well. So. I'm going to find a generic token. Oh, here we go. Yeah. There. So, can you reroll dash? Just the vigilance. Perfect. And let me roll for mouse as well. Vigilance, which is not great. So we've got a 0-1. 0-1. And then we've got a 0-3. 0-3. Then we've got a 1-1. And then we've got 2-1. And then I think we've got another 2-1.
See anything on this, but I don't think you should be able to, just because it's not a proper skill check. Because it's rolled like with no difficulty dice.
Yeah, sure, but it's like if you want to spend, light side point, it seems like it'd be okay.
We should have 2. Oh wait, never mind. I don't like that triumph doesn't mean anything in
well, it does.
It does. You get a maneuver.
Yep. So he might have the chance to react in time to save you, essentially. That makes sense.
Is one of the NPCs the captain?
Nope. Captain will not be participating in a battle. Not what he's here for. It's what you all are here for.
Yeah. Whew. All right.
All right. So 2, 1, 1, 0, 3. Okay. Cool. So, one of the PCs does get a first turn, and remember, anybody can go.
So,
I would say, with the exception of Zian.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
All right. With the triumph, can I do something first? Or?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. You can do something first. What is the maneuver? However, I do require, because everybody's required to do this. I do require a fear check.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a hard fear check.
Discipline,
And
right?
discipline?
Yep, discipline. It's only from. I'll do it when each of you goes, just to see how to color your turn. Okay. So you are afraid, which basically I think adds black dice to everything that you do, essentially.
Yeah.
So whatever you're going to do, you get a maneuver basically. Like you could even do it to like maybe you notice it and you start pulling Jax up.
Yeah, that was. I was thinking of. Can I start pulling up before he's gripped? Because I'm kind of afraid to pull after he's taken. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Or is he already gripped?
He's not gripped. This is the immediate. Your triumph gives you the immediate moment here.
Yeah. So can I just
do something?
At the rope and just? I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna pull him up to the boat. I'm just gonna pull him away from them.
Yeah. Try and throw him off. Sure.
Yeah.
So that's probably athletics, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Makes
sense.
It's
a hard. It's an average hard check technically. Oh wait, no. That's if I'm pulling. That's if I'm pulling. If I were to shoot my grapple, and then pull myself up with someone else, it's a average athletics check.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna add the black dice for fear in this case, and I'm gonna use a dark side point because there is the strong potential for something to go terribly wrong.
But yeah, okay. I think I should be okay, so I'm just gonna roll it.
Okay.
Oh! Rolled so badly.
Okay. Reduce some strain, Kin. And again, this is not on the. You basically get the surprise round with this.
Yeah.
So a failure here, what that looks like is, I think that whatever Jax does on his next turn gets an additional black dice because you've yanked on it, but not done enough to like pull him up, and so you get kind of yanked in a direction, Jax, that you weren't expecting.
Can I use one adventure to reduce strain and another to pass on a blue die to the next person?
Absolutely, you can. Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, cool. So that's the surprise round. That's the surprise. Like you get to try and do something. But Jax, it is your turn. Or I'm sorry, it's not Jax's turn. It's whoever wants to go. I would say outside of Zian.
I'm very much going to take this turn.
Okay, so you get yanked up, right? And like you're like, oh, what's going on? And like maybe you like spin around, and you just see these massive teeth like coming right at the skiff. Now, it should be noted, like they're coming right at you, quote unquote, but it looks like it's coming like in your general direction. It's just so big that you are directly in the way at this point.
Yeah.
So you get your turn. Everything you do has a black dice added to it, and a blue dice though.
Wait, don't I have to do a fear check?
You do have to do a fear check. That is correct. So why don't you make that hard fear check for me? Go ahead and roll.
I'm going to use a light side point.
Okay.
Because I am
upgrade?
terrified.
So just for the fair check that I did, I had an advantage. I can use that to pass on a blue die to the allies next.
Good call. I will add a blue dice to Jax's fear check as well.
Cool. Sweet. All right.
Roll it up.
I'm scared.
Oof. Yeah, no, you're it's probably more shock than scared at this point, right? Like
I'll take that.
But you still are going to get all of the negative benefits that come with that.
I am gonna reduce 2 strain.
Okay, sure. Now you get to take your turn in earnest. You get 2 maneuvers and an action. But you will have 2 black dice added to whatever skill check you make. One for Kin's failure and one for your fear check failure.
Yeah. Can I just activate my grapple gun? Like, it has a wheelie-uppy mechanism in it.
Sure does.
So can I just activate that and pull myself up?
Yeah, yeah, I would say that is a function of your grappling gun.
Yeah, sweet.
Is that a maneuver or an action?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Shooting it.
What book is that in again?
It's in. I think it's in not Fly Casual, the one that had the Lords of Nalhutta, I think.
Let's see.
But in my thing, I think I pasted. I think I got really. Yeah, as an action, make an average range light check to secure hook to an object within medium range, which I've already done because Kina has in his hand.
Yep.
Once secured, the cord may be reeled in as an action. Oh yeah, there we go. To pull another character aloft, you must succeed in an average athletics check.
Okay. So you can just use your action to basically wheel yourself up.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
So I'm gonna wheel myself up to the top of the deck with my action, and then I probably need to use a maneuver to like actually get onto the deck and like
I would say so,
tangled
yes.
in the cord and stuff.
I would say so, yes.
And then I will I will take out both my guns.
Okay.
So I can do that for free.
Yep.
And yeah, that I guess that is my turn.
Okay. So we get an NPC turn here.
So you didn't have to roll anything for that?
No, I only have to roll
only if he's trying to bring somebody else up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Basically, the cost of it is the fact that he has to spend his action doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So lucky for you, you get to dodge that. So the first NPC turn is gonna be taken by this one you can see as it crunches into the side of the boat. I'm gonna make an attack roll here. Because it looked like it might have been aiming for you, but it wasn't exactly aiming for you.
I was just in its way.
Yeah, you were just in its way. So it's going to roll with its giant maws. Massive maw and mandibles is actually the name of the attack. And it's going to strike the boat. Just an average check. Let me make sure he doesn't get any special. Nope. Okay. So let's go ahead and roll this. Good.
Oof.
So,
holy shit!
Damn.
So
3 Pierce 4 Vicious 2, and it just did.
Yeah. So it grips into the side of the skiff, and you hear this nasty as like the metal gets crunched down, and it begins to shake and wobble. And how much damage is that to? Yeah. So because it's attacking like a vehicle, it doesn't do all of that damage, but it is enough damage to severely damage the right-hand part of the skiff, severely weakening the effectiveness of how this boat travels. And as it does, it kind of shakes itself off, and I think that this is when you begin to see the danger of this sort of thing, because it's severely damaged the ship, and you could tell now, I think, that it was aiming at that particular thing that was latched onto the ship, which still is mostly latched onto the ship, and the creature sinks back down into the water and kind of disappears from sight.
But then I can't shoot it.
Well, maybe you'll have to make a perception check on your turn.
Oh.
And I think that appropriately,
So, we can't have the 2 threat be that he's stuck on the boat.
if you want, you know what? I think that is a good threat use. So perhaps the difference is his mandibles are hooked into the boat now, and they're latched onto the boat, and it's trying to, like, that's probably what it's doing, actually. Instead of swimming away, it's probably feeding on whatever that thing is that hit the boat, and its mandibles are locked into the boat. So it's still very visible and like shaking, and the boat is rattling as well because it's big enough. Like it's probably the length of the boat easily, and it's kind of shaking back and forth, and you all are kind of getting like rocked a little bit. But it is stuck there and can't really detach itself. But I think that since it is also an NPC turn, it is probably most appropriate to then reveal this, where from below that creature you see another shape begin to form, careening towards the surface.
Here.
Bigger fish. Yeah, why did you have to summon bigger fish?
Hold on. Hold on, I have to upload an image real quick.
In my notes, I'm gonna make this fish attack in all caps with 3 exclamation points.
Oh. And I actually have to make this one smaller to get you a size comparison.
Good.
Oh,
What the fuck is it? Oh.
You see,
this is just that
can
scene
only
from
be
the
described. Can only be described as a dragon coming up, and it's going to make an attack on this other fish that is now latched onto the boat.
Oh no.
Please hit the fish, and don't hit the fish too hard, but don't miss and hit us. That's all I want.
It's going to be average here. It first is going to try and grip onto it to hold it in place, or to knock down in the water, which knock down in the water equates to basically immobilizing it momentarily. Let's see the dice pool. Okay, good.
Wow.
So, you see these claws come up and grab onto this large fish that is kind of feeding on whatever it is. Dealing 10, 13, 14, 15, plus 2. Good. So it is going to knock it down, essentially, right? Like, it's going to spend its 2 advantage to knock this creature down. So it is now, like, immobilized, basically. And it deals 15 damage. Let's see, after Pierce is concerned. Okay. You notice that the fish that it grabbed onto is still fighting with quite some ferocity after these claws are like gripping into it. So, to paint the picture before we end for the night, there are the 4 of you on the deck of the boat.
5.
Mouse is still technically in the cockpit, but yes.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
There are the 4 of you on the deck of the boat, looking down at this right-hand skiff that has this large, like, I think you can tell now it's like basically the equivalent of like a large carp that's like impacted on the boat. There is this big mandibled creature that's stuck on the boat trying to eat it, and then there is basically a water dragon that is now eating that. And all of this is attached to your boat. And that is essentially where we're going to end for the night. Where we fade to black. I am going to mark, however, that there are a couple of you who are afraid. Let's see, what is a good symbol for that? Oh yeah, let's put the lightning bolt through the heart. That seems appropriate.
Broken heart.
Yeah, your heart is broken, and Zian, you are definitely afraid.
Well, I still haven't seen it, so yay me.
Yeah. Once it gets to your turn, perhaps we will encounter that. But it will be the PC's turn in the upcoming session. And thank you all for being here. Experience. I think that there was some progression today. I think it was good. We got to decide on some missions. I think everybody deserves... We're going to go on the low end. We just got 20, so we're going to go back down to 10 experience for everybody. Because there's going to be a lot more chances for experience in the upcoming couple of days. Also, we need to talk about conflict for you, Zian.
Yes.
I will give you this option. You can roll for it now and reset, or you can wait and roll for it at the end of the encounter. It's up to you. Whatever you feel is most appropriate.
It's tough because it's like an equal chance to go really bad.
Right. Exactly.
Which is kind of what I want. Like, because Zian's gonna do some dark shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it makes more sense to do it in the next.
Okay. All right.
Session.
So just make a note that you currently have, however many conflict you have, and we'll carry it over after this particular thing, because you are paralyzed in fear, or your fight or flight is getting ready to kick in on whatever turn you decide to take, and it's going to be one or the other, and neither are probably going to be pretty.
No.
Cool.
Considering I just spending that on another strength upgrade for move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's pick everything up.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So that's all I have for you guys. It was a lot of fun, though. Thank you all for being here. Be sure to make Mouse aware of the giant sea monsters next time we talk to her. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you all for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We will see the exciting conclusion of the fish and bigger fish sea battle next time. So, I'm going to do outro.
Cool.
And I'll talk to you guys later.
What's the silhouette of this big thing?
I'll actually hang around for a bit tonight if anyone's around. But I gotta go.
This big thing?
Yeah. 4
probably.
Okay, I could throw it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably a 4. It's definitely like a couple of sizes larger than than you. Yeah, basically like the ship you're on is a 3. The big mandible fish is a 2, and then the bigger clawed fish is probably a 4. So it's bigger than the ship, I think, is clearly the thing going on there. So that's awesome. And next time we'll try not to die, right?
Yep. Well, see you guys.
Fantastic. We'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you all for being here. It's been a lot of fun today. I'm glad you all could be here. If you like what you see, you can always watch all of the rest of the videos ever. That's totally cool. If you don't like what you see, well, I don't know how you made it through 4 hours of this nonsense. Maybe you should reevaluate your life. But thank you all for being here. It's been a hell of a lot of fun from all of us to you. May you always roll triumphs. May you never roll despair. And always know that there's a bigger fish out there. Bye, everybody.